guys, and welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, the Bright Side Girl, and today I'm doing my January book haul. Okay, remember how I said I wasn't going to do this anymore because I'm moving and I have to reduce my TBR? Well, I did! So, here's the deal. Most of these books, or at least a lot of them, I have over 20 by the way, it was like not good. A lot of them I was either really looking for a long time or I've actually read and already know that I love them and want them for my collection. However, I did go through and really like scorch my TBR pile and get rid of things that I know that I am not going to read right away at all, or that had iffy reviews. There's still some that I can probably get rid of, but my total TBR count is down to 239. That is with me getting rid of books and reading books, and I also got rid of some books that I've been keeping that I've read that I thought I liked, but then I read some other books that were way better, so I've been really good. I've probably gotten rid of like 70 to 80 books in the last month. So I don't feel as bad about my haul because I'm doing good on my TBR, and I'm going to keep going and try and get that number down to 200 by April and 150 by the end of the year because that's going to be my goal. Anyway, we're just going to plow through this book haul. Okay, first up I found The Shadow Throne by Jennifer A. Nielsen. The first two books in this series, it's one of my next ones to read. I figured if I'm going to read them right pretty here soon, then I needed this one just in case. I really love it, and it's also really beautiful. I found Rebel by Amy Tintera. This is the second book in her, I don't know what, reboot duology. I have heard really great things about Reboot, and I'm excited for that one. This is one I'm not sure I'm going to keep. This is Unhinged by A.J. Howard. I heard wonderful things about Splintered and iffy things about this one, but I know that I want to read Splintered for sure, so I went ahead and got this one. Plus, how cool is this Mad Hatter dude? It's a Alice in Wonderland retelling. I got Rise of the Isle of the Lost. This is the third Descendants novel. I believe I have the first Descendants novel. This is based on Disney's Descendants, and it is about fairy tale villains' children. So I needed that. Okay, I did something weird here. I got Shopaholic to the Stars because I was collecting the Shopaholic series by Sophie Kinsella. It is a contemporary series and it's also made into a movie. I did get rid of the other two Shopaholic books that I have because I see them all the time at my used bookstores when I am out looking around, but I never see this one. I know I want to read it eventually, but I thought I could let them go for now and then repurchase in the future because I've literally seen them for like a quarter before. So that's my weird explanation. I got The Magicians by Lev Grossman. This is also now a TV show. I don't know anything except for that it is about magicians, of course. I got Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. This is like the classic edition. I'm just gonna add it to my classics pile, one that I've been needing to read. I got Their Fractured Light by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. A little bit worried I already have this one in a different cover, but I usually keep pretty good track of my books. But either way, this is one I've been wanting to read for a long time. Finally found Leviathan by Scott Westerfield and Goliath. This is in the Leviathan trilogy, and I have the second book already. These covers are really cool. It's like steampunky World War II fantasy, and everyone seems to really like Scott Westerfield, and I definitely want to give this one a shot. This has been on my TBR for a long time, 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. This is basically about crossing into other dimensions and other timelines, which I love, and the cover is amazing. This is, and I really liked, I recently read one of Claudia Gray's books. I can't remember what it was, but I really enjoyed it, and so I'm excited to add this one to it. My first Brandon Sanderson book. I got it. It was cheap. It's pretty. It's sci-fi, fantasy, Steelheart. These next four I was a little bit bad for because I didn't really like need them, but I'll explain. So in my January wrap up, I talk about how I started reading the Lunar Chronicles, which is fairy tale retellings. So that got me, and I read also Cruel Beauty, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So I really wanted to get into some more retellings. So I got Ash by Melinda Lowe. This is a awesome looking Cinderella retelling. I got Snow in Summer. This is another Beauty and the Beast retelling. And then I got Juliet Immortal. Look at that. This is awesome. And this is about a girl who jumps into different people's bodies, but somehow she has a Romeo and Juliet experience every time she's in a new body. So I'm thinking like Every Day by David Levithan and Romeo and Juliet mixed in one. So yeah, I mean, come on. And then I got Everlasting by Angie Fraser, purely because this looks like The Little Mermaid. I don't think it is a retelling of The Little Mermaid, but I know I've heard of it, and I know that it's probably going to be good. So I got that one. In my little free library, they had Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I rarely get things from the little free library just because I have so many books, and I also just, there usually aren't things that I'm interested in there, but I've been looking for this one for a long time that wasn't really expensive. So I grabbed this one. It is paperback, so I'll return it when I'm done with it, but I'm going to save it for the fall. But I did donate other books to make up for the fact that I took it. I got The Search for the Red Dragon. This is the second book in the Imagination Geographic series. I don't know, the first book is called Here There Be Dragons, and they have these awesome like dragon ship type things, and so I want to read it. Don't yell at me, but I got Passion by Lauren Kate for 25 cents. This is one of the series that I'm so iffy about whether I actually liked it or not, but I just feel like I need to reread it at some point without such a prejudiced mind, and I'm just a sucker for these beautiful covers, so I'm adding this one to my shelf. I got You Suck by Christopher Moore. This one is actually for my husband. He really likes Christopher Moore's book, Dirty Jobs. It's kind of like satire twists on other types of stories, like weird bookness. I don't know. It's very like, a lot of guys I know like it, but I thought this would be a really cute Valentine's present, so I'm going to add this with a couple other things because he hasn't heard of this one. I got the first book in the Spiderwick Chronicles by Holly Black because I love Holly Black now that I read Coldest Girl in Cold Town, and I'm already like super attached to her, and I've never read Spiderwick. And then the next 4 books are like nostalgia books that I have been looking for and collecting. Finally found The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and like this is like your standard hardback edition, like the one that I grew up with, and I was really excited to find this one. And then I also found The Silver Chair. This is in like the 1950s. These are like vintage editions. I have 4 of the other ones and they're really incredibly hard to find, but I found another one and I'm so excited because they're so pretty, and then I have to decide whether I'm going to keep like the vintage and the basic ones. One of those classic fantasy series that you really need to read, and they're not very long at all, and I love them. And speaking of childhood books that I love, I finally found the hardbacks of Little House on the Prairie for like inexpensive. I was actually going to spend like more money on these because I love them so much and they're hard to find. So I found this one for like 50 cents, Little House on the Prairie. This is the 3rd book in the Little House on the Prairie series by Laura Ingalls Wilder. This is like pioneer. I was really into like pioneering and, you know, like Oregon Trail type things when I was growing up. I read this series like several times. This book is definitely beat up. I had to like tape the cover, which I hate, but because it's so hard to find and these books new cost quite a bit, I'm gonna keep this one until I can, you know, afford to get a different one. And then I found Little Town on the Prairie, which I love, and it has its beautiful Newbery honor on it, and these are awesome. And you definitely should read them. I think you'd like them as adults too. Like my mom and I both grew up on this series, and I'm so excited to like round out my collection. And lastly, I got some money over Christmas and I am going to order a lot more books, but I want to wait until we move. But I did splurge and get 2 books that were my favorites from last year that I didn't own. So I found both of these I got on thriftbooks.com for like $3. I normally, you know, most of these books I get for $1 that I have or less, but these actually spent a little bit more because I love them so much. So I got Earth Flight by Janet Edwards. One of my all-time favorite series is Earth Girl. Now I'm planning on rereading this year. It's just such a gem that's like not talked about. And look at that cover, man. Look at that sci-fi cover. This is set in 2778, way in the future, and just If you haven't read Earth Girl, then go listen to me talk about it in my 2017 favorites video, because you really need to. And then I got Atlantia by Ali Condi. This one's actually extremely hard to find, even on the internets, in hardback. I don't know if it's out of print or what, but it's not very old, and Ali Condi's a popular writer. And look at that cover. And this one is about sirens and about kind of an Atlantis type underground world, and the world building is so cool, and it's just a standalone novel, and it's one of my favorites, and I plowed through this book. It says, "Human voices wake us and we drown." Oh, it's so good. Yeah, it's just really mysterious and magical, and oh man, there's just nothing like Atlantia. Okay, you guys, that is it for my January book haul. I'm probably still going to have a February book haul, but you got to hold me to that my TBR still needs to be lower. So as I buy books that I find more interesting than the ones that I already own, I got to rotate them out. And I'm able to do that, like I said, because I get these books for so cheap, and I wind up being able to sell them for the same exact amount most of the time, or give them to my little free library if I no longer want them. But I rarely spend more than $1 on books, and a lot of them I get for $0.25. So that's how I'm able to do these big book hauls and also like get rid of a lot of books without feeling super guilty. So anyway, hope you guys are having a great day. Let me know what books you are hauling and what your TBR number is at, and I'll see you guys next time on The Bright Side. Bye!